Hey there, welcome. Today is a very special episode. But first, I gotta introduce the show to everybody. This is Nostalgia Drive, a series where I go over the original Trails in the Sky OST and the Evo OST and compare the two. Evo is blind, by the way. And today is a very special episode. Madrigal of the White Magnolia. It's here. It's finally here. Oh, this is gonna be a long one. So buckle up, get those snacks ready, and prepare yourself for a good time. I'm ready. Are you? Before we get started, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I'm gonna try and blaze through this as quickly as I can. For people who want to skip ahead, hopefully the chapters are working. There will be timestamps in the description, so feel free to jump around. But I recently hit 50 subscribers, and wow. I still can't believe it. And I know some people might look at that and be like, 50? That's so small. And it's like, I like it 50. And I'm like, wow, 50 different people actually like what I do to some extent. I know most of those people have come from, my two videos talking about Daybreak, but I've also noticed an influx of comments from people watching my Evo reactions, which is really cool. Been having a lot of interesting conversations there, from talking about different ways to make chicken, to Japanese sweets, all kinds of random stuff, but anyway, so I figured, why not make this video my 50 subscriber special? I do have some interesting things planned for later. Oh, I really hope this comes together very well. So I just wanted to say thank you guys, for subscribing, for watching, for just being here and supporting me on this journey. Thank you. Let's get started, shall we? Starting with Princess's Trouble in 3, 2, 1, and play. Oh, this play was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this section. It is kind of interesting how this does sound like circus music to an extent. Also, it kind of... It kind of also sounds like carousel music a little bit, but actually the instrument they're using, if you don't know, is actually a calliope. Or a calliope, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Which is essentially just a steam organ. They're very loud instruments. But I honestly think it fits perfectly with this whole play. Just captures the vibe of that ye old medieval setting very well. Do. Ah, see, these are all very short. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice little opening there. I'm not gonna talk about these too much. I'm just gonna kind of quickly move through them. Next up is Knight's Grief. Here we go. Da 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 da. This one's really good. I do wonder, will the Evo version use a real calliope? Calliope. I'm used to saying calliope. Like Maury Calliope. if you know that VTuber. But this one really conveys that sort of regal sort of sense to it. It has that sort of regal aspect to it. A very noble demeanor. Which it is about knights, so that is fitting. I kind of want to watch the play again, but I looked it up and the play is a little bit longer than the music files. Oh, I'll probably get to that. I'll get to that eventually when I decide to do Let's Plays of these games. Each one's expectations. Ooh, oh yeah, this one. Do 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 do. Just that slow, repeating melody. I really like it. I'm trying to remember all the events of the play. Because I know it starts off with the 2 knights, which speaking of the knights, ooh. Oh yeah. This really just puts me in like a medieval sort of mood. It's really cool how music can sort of send you to other places based off of whatever it ends up becoming associated with. Because yeah, it starts with, you know, the 2 knights are friends, and then eventually they end up fighting each other for the princess's hand in marriage. It's your very sort of typical story from that era, which, oh, here we go. Next is Castle. Yeah, this is actually our first preview of the Castle theme that we hear later. Just more of a ye old feeling to it. Da, 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 da. I do like this melody. This royal melody to it. It is very interesting how you can play the same melody with various different instruments, and they can convey this different sense of emotion to them. That's fascinating to me. Next, we're going to be getting to the part that I was alluding to earlier, which is it's time to duel. Actually, I lied. It is not time to duel. It is Colosseum time. Colosseum. Is this our first? Yeah, this is our first. This is our first listen to of the Colosseum theme too. It's interesting. I get this sense of like you're sort of marching to inevitable ruin with the tone of this one, which is very interesting. Which is very interesting how that is conveyed to me. I wonder if that's because I know the outcome of the preceding scenes that's influenced my thoughts, or not. Next is duel. I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. It was just right in front of me. Sometimes you gotta take the low hanging fruit, you know. I love this one. This is probably my favorite one. This one really sounds like circus music. But the duel, the fight scene that happens in this one was really cool. And how I forget if it's Estelle or Chloe, how they as they're fighting, then one of them jumps up and jumps off the wall and leaps over the other one. I love what they do with the sprites in this game for the fight scenes. They're really simple, but they're cool to watch, and it's such a shame that we get so few of them. Oh man, this one is just fun. This is a fun one. I almost kind of get not merry-go-round. Well, kind of merry-go-round vibes. The teacup ride at Disneyland, where you sit in them and you're spinning around super fast in them. That's I kind of get this sort of, not really an elegant, kind of a waltzy vibe to it. Yeah, in a sense. It is in a sense kind of a dance. I guess you could consider a duel a type of dance. Especially, you know, an old school duel like that with, you know, swords and footwork and stuff like that. Acrobatics. But an interesting thing I found out that I wanted to point out. Let's listen to this beginning section. If I remember to close this window. Listen to this beginning section again. Okay, you heard that right. Where it's just that it's that very quick descending melody. Just keep that very quick descending melody in mind. Okay, you ready? This is To Be Suggestive, which is one I just did not too long ago. Listen to the beginning section of this one. You hear that descending melody at the beginning? It's pretty much the same, at least from what my ears can tell. And no, I'm not going to take credit for that. I did not find that out myself. I saw a comment on the Falcom music channel pointing it out, and I was like, what? No way. It uses the same melody, which I love little stuff like that. And Falcom does that a lot. They incorporate a lot of their melodies just in random places. Next will be the second to last one, Princess's Death. Yeah, this one definitely has just this nice, well, not nice, but this very sad, you know, depressing sound to it. Especially this part with the piercing high notes. Oh, it hits me right here. You can't see what I'm doing, but I put my hand up to my chest. Oh. Because, yeah, this is the moment where the princess steps in between the two knights as they're about to deal the finishing blow to each other. And so she ends up dying. And, well, if you watch the play, I'll probably have the play up right now. Actually, now that I think about it, I'll probably have the play playing. Good one, brain. As I'm listening to these. Oh, was that? Huh. That was that a bit of the main theme sneaking in there? Or am I tripping? But yeah, this piece of music definitely does its job. Oh, just, ugh. Oh, that hits me. Hits me right here. Alright. And last but not least, actually, I like Duel a lot, but I don't know, is this one my favorite? Out of the whole Madrigal, the White Magnolia stuff, I don't know. Now it's time for the finale. Da 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 da. Oh, I love those little playful tones in the back. But as you can hear, if you don't know, this is the main theme of the game, which I think is awesome. Do 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 do. I love when games do little reorchestrations of the main theme, or just a main melody throughout the soundtrack. It always makes me feel giddy, like, there's the main theme. It's like, hey, I know that. That's a familiar face, sight. But that turn of phrase doesn't really work with music, but you get what I mean. That was really fun. But we're only halfway through with this one. We have the Evo versions to worry about next, which that's the main. Okay, let me just give my quick thoughts about these before we move on to the Evo versions. Our boy Sonata was the composer for all of these. which I think Sonata's really good. I've said it before, but I definitely think he's one of the more consistent members of the sound team throughout all the games. He's kind of like the backbone of Falcom in a sense. He doesn't really stand out too often. When he does, he hits really hard. But for the most part, he's just kind of in the back, just making really good, really solid music. And I can appreciate that a lot, you know. But I do think that the use of the Calliope, which, yeah, no, there was no other instruments that were used. It was just the Calliope that was used. Yes, I will pull that up real quick. A Calliope is an American and Canadian musical instrument that produces sound by sending a gas, originally steam, or more recently compressed air through a large whistle, which was originally a train whistle, that's pretty cool. Calliopes are typically loud. Yes. Even some small Calliopes are audible for miles. There's no way to vary tone or loudness. Musically, the only expression possible is the pitch, rhythm, and duration of the notes. The steam Calliope is also known as a steam organ or steam piano. Let me see. In the age of steam, the steam Calliope was particularly used on riverboats. That's right, I forgot. And in circuses. In both cases, a steam supply was readily available. Riverboats supplied steam from their propulsion boilers. Hey, there you go. Circus Calliopes were sometimes installed in steam-driven carousels, oh yes, or were supplied with steam from a traction engine. Calliopes can be played by a player at a keyboard or mechanically. Mechanical operation, maybe by a drum similar to a music box drum. That's really cool. Or a roll similar to that of a player piano. Here we go. This is what I really wanted to get to. Some instruments have both a keyboard and a mechanism for automated operation. Others only for one or the other. I lied. This next part is what I wanted to get to. Some Calliopes can also be played via a MIDI interface, which is definitely what this was, which I just learned this the other day, that the program they used, that Falcom used for all their music, at least for FC and SC, was VST, which stands for Virtual Studio Technology. It's an audio plugin software interface that integrates software synthesizers and effect units into digital audio workstations, which is very interesting. Where was that part? VST instruments include software simulation emulations of well-known software synthesizers and samplers. These typically emulate the look of the original equipment as well as its sonic characteristics. This lets musicians, a little bit of Sean Connery coming out there, and recording engineers use virtual versions of devices that otherwise might be difficult and expensive to obtain. There we go. That's where all the variety of music that they use comes from. Some of the instruments they had that they just plugged into the MIDI interface. Others, they just used VST, which is undoubtedly where the Calliope comes into play. Because I imagine importing one of those would have been, especially back then, in the early 2000s, that might have cost an arm and 3 legs. So you might want to have some friends to help with the extra legs. What am I talking about? Oh gosh. So I thought this was cool. I thought this was neat. Interesting little, I did a teeny tiny bit of just, term searching. And a madrigal is actually a form of vocal music that was most typically performed during the Renaissance period, which kind of fits the timeline of the Sky games to a degree, as far as the whole medieval sort of style that they were going for, from the time period in which the play was derived from, as far as their history goes. Don't ask me to remember any dates, because I am terrible with dates. So that's a neat little tidbit there. As for the other section of the title, White Magnolia. What is a magnolia? Well, it's a flower. And in the United States, they've been largely considered to be the harbinger of the spring season, which spring indicates, sort of rebirth, renewal, all that sort of stuff. So there's that aspect, but over in Japan, flowers have their own language, yes, known as Hana Kotoba. In the Japanese language of flowers, magnolias symbolize love for nature and harmony. It represents the harmony of nature and the coexistence of all natural life. Magnolia also represents dignity, perseverance, and immortality. So I just thought this was interesting. Just sort of upholding this dignity, being in harmony with each other, sort of message that the play was attempting to convey when the two friends eventually came together after the princess was revived because of the goddess, and sort of, in a sense, set aside their class differences, which that's also some interesting aspects I wanted to bring up. I know that Falcom wrote this series, like this series is done, right? In terms of a general overall story, they wrote all of that out in the beginning, and we were only a little bit more than halfway, according to them, which is crazy with 12 games, jeez. But it does make me wonder just how many aspects of the game did they truly foresee writing about? Because there's the Azure Knight, there's the old schoolhouse, there's class warfare between nobles and commoners, there's some other aspects such as Julius being the eldest son of the Duke. Just very, very interesting little, I don't know if I want to call them foreshadowing? Did they think that far ahead, or did they kind of just plant things with the intention of potentially using them later? And then later came and they looked back and they were like, oh yeah, we can make connections to this and this and that. Which I just think the world building in this game's crazy, man. Seriously, what other game series has world building as good as this? The only other things I can think of are Mass Effect, the Witcher series, Xenosaga to an extent, I guess, and the Xenoblade games also to an extent, and I guess just the Xeno games, just Xenogears, Saga, Blade, I guess to an extent, but they're not really connected. I mean, they are very loosely connected, but not to the extent that Trails is. So yeah, those are really the only examples that I can think of right now. I'm sure there might be a couple more. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Not really in the world building aspect, but in the lore aspect. Those are the only games I can really think of. Okay, finally we've reached the Evo versions, the moment that you and me have been waiting for. So without further ado, let's start with Princess's Trouble, and just work our way from there. I'm ready, let's go. Oh. Ooh. Oh, we're getting violins? Oh, wait, the one in the back, is that a viola? That might be a viola. Ooh. Oh, this is pretty. This almost has an eerie sound to it, doesn't it? Or is that just me? I mean, I guess it is Princess's Trouble? Oh. Oh. Hello, cello. Oh, I love those. The deep timbre of the cello. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, I'm a happy boy today. Yeah, just that first note, it just sounds eerie. But then it ascends into this more sort of hopeful space, and then comes back down again. Oh, and then it just ends. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I can already tell this is gonna be fun. Okay, next, we're just gonna jump right into Knight's Grief. Ooh. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, wait. Oh, I thought for a second I heard Ooh, I thought for a second I heard like a xylophone or something just in the, like just way off in the corner, but no, it was the plucking of the viola. I'm pretty sure that's a viola. The front layer is a violin, and then the back layer is the viola. You wanna know how I can tell it's a viola? Because a viola is actually tuned to be 3 octaves higher than a violin. Aha, hey! I hope I got that fun fact right. Oh, wow, that was... Oh, these just gonna be string-based? I'm not gonna complain, but let's go to each one's expectations. Ooh. Ooh. This one almost has a bit of extra weight to it. Oh, like just like the strings are just intertwining with each other. Oh. Yeah, this almost gives me that sense of you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders to an extent. And you're seeking for a way to unburden yourself. I don't know why that popped up into my head, but I mean, hey, that's the beauty of music, right? You can interpret it in any way you want to, and you won't be wrong because it's your interpretation. Music is art, after all. Oh, that was nice. Okay, next will be the castle theme. Da da da. Oh yeah. I can already envision this being played in like a royal court. Or like a throne room. Where like guests are walking in through the front door, and you have just this band in the off to the side. Oh. I love those little bum, bum, bum in the back. Yeah, the violin and the viola really do complement each other very well. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Next will be the Colosseum theme. Now, yep, I do still get that feeling of marching off. Not necessarily into battle, but sort of like you're marching towards destiny. In a sense. Towards the inevitable. But you're ready for it. Oh. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Oh. Oh. Play it. Oh yeah. Very, 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 very nice. Okay, here we go. This potentially could be my favorite one. Duel. Dun 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 dun. Oh yeah. Obviously doesn't have the same energy as the original because it's just strings, but the strings carry it along. It gives it a different feeling. It almost gives it more of like, whereas the other one, you're kind of, it's a bit not really aggressive, But the original is kind of you're dancing, and this one is kind of sort of just a light skip. I don't know if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. But it's a little bit more... It's a little bit more, not lighthearted, but... Ooh. Ooh. Awesome. Yeah, that one, it's not more lighthearted, it's a different tone. I don't know how to describe it. Playful, in a sense? Yeah, I'll go with playful. It sounds a bit more playful than the original. Do I even think that, actually? Now I'm unsure. Now I don't know. Let's move on to Princess's Death, our second to last one. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be very sad. And especially with the strings. The strings, there is nothing sadder than the cry, the wail of a violin. There's just something about violins and pianos are just two of the saddest instruments, and when utilized correctly like they are here, they can just make you feel things, you know? Yeah, I remember how I said the weight of the world earlier? Well, it's all come crashing down here. Oh gosh. Very fitting. Very fitting music. I like how those strings were just softly playing. And now the viola's kind of taken over for a bit. Oh man. Whoa. Wow, that was like just a rushing waterfall. Even to my ears. Oh. And we're just gonna kind of fade out very softly. Oh, okay, cool. Well, here we go. Here's the finale. In 3, 2, 1. I wasn't gonna do it, but it felt appropriate for this one. Let's go. And now we're back to that happy waltzy feeling. Everything's okay. Everybody's fine. Everybody lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, if only we could say that for the ending of this game. Oh my gosh. Very nice. You know what this gives me Lusitania vibes from Sky the Third. Strangely enough. Oh, we're already at oh wow, we're already at the ending. Holy crap. That flew by so fast. Wow. I gotta give a round of applause. I'd give a standing ovation, but then my headset would become unplugged. So, and I don't want to have to crawl under my desk to plug it back in. Wow. Yeah, you know, that in a sense kind of felt more like a musical than a play for the Evo versions. which I guess makes sense because you're using more live instruments. Those were both enjoyable. Ah, how the heck am I gonna rank these? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna rank it overall. That felt like an experience. As far as presentation, the Evo version is clearly the winner. As far as tone and just matching the overall vibe that they're going for, I do think that the original is a lot better because it portrays that Renaissance feeling, that medieval style of music very well, just in terms of the overall sound. Whereas the Evo version felt more like a musical, like a waltz, like you're going through all these different movements, in a sense, you know, in terms of classical music. Which, it is a classical play, so I guess in a sense that would work. This is hard. I am leaning more towards the original, so I do like the Evo versions. I just think that they definitely fit more in the original version. I can't really imagine myself watching Madrigal of the White Magnolia in the Evo version and getting that same feeling with this music playing in the background as opposed to the original. Again, that is just how all these are they're just my opinions. They're just how I feel. You know, if you disagree, hey, more power to you. Go ahead. I mean, if you do disagree, you know, give me an explanation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on why you think the Evo versions actually fit better. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the originals this time. I think they're the winner. Nostalgia's a hell of a drug. But there's one thing. Oh, I'm gonna segue into this very poorly, but here we go. Because we all know how the play went. You know, Estelle and Chloe dressed up as the knights, and they had Joshua take the role of the princess. So he had to wear a wig and the dress, and you know, in the olden days of plays, you know, back before, you know, women had the right to do a lot of things, men used to play all the roles, because men were the only ones allowed to be performers. This was back way during like the Shakespearean era and stuff. And honestly, I think they did portray it. It's definitely one of the better portrayals of those kinds of scenarios. Can you imagine Loewe just walking in? Estelle and Joshua are going to be doing a play? Oh, cool. Let me pop in and see what's going on. Oh, it's definitely that's an Are you winning, son moment to me. But just the way he smirked and he was just like, and then he walks out. He's like, oh my gosh.
Are you winning, son? Son?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I think I know where he went after that.
First time.
Bartender, where's my drink? Right away, sir. This one's just for you. And one for your friend, too. Oh, thank you. That's mighty kind of you. Oh, don't thank me. Thank him. I'm putting it on his tab, after all. You son of a... whatever. We'll say we have a toast to celebrate our mutual, disappointment. Sure, whatever.
Cheers!
Karin, where did I go wrong? Oh yeah, that's right. He was taken in by... Estelle, did you put Beatles in Daddy's shoes again? Whoa, this one's biggin'. Oh man, Papa is sad. Why am I even putting up with... Hey, wait a minute. These were non-alcoholic. Campanella, you... Oh my, did I do that? Whoopsie doodles. Hey, best buddy, why don't you sing us some karaoke to lift the mood? Huh? When the heck did we become friends? Only because Campanella knows I can't touch him, being the Grandmaster's little pet. Hey now, no need to be so rude. I have just the song in mind for you. A real tearjerker. it'll be the perfect finale for all our viewers currently watching. What? Huh? Fine. But I'm doing this for me. No one else. Got it?
ダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好きすぎてどれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出がバカみたい
You know, I do feel better after that. Well, time for me to get out of here. I got some, plans in motion. Later, Bright. Can't wait to beat up your kids later. I'll have Blue Blanc cover the bill. Later, Campanella. So, did I do a good job or what? Indeed you did. Here's your reward. You've earned it. Oh, heck yeah. Who's the best? This guy. Haha, yeah, oh yeah. And, that's how it all went down, right? I mean, you know, at least that's what I remember. I mean, I could be wrong. Could be misremembering some things, but, I think I got the gist of it pretty accurately. I mean, you guys can remind me. Oh, well, what a way to end it, huh? Oh, thank you for hanging out with me. This one was a lot of fun to make. Hopefully it was a lot of fun to you guys. Thank you again for the 50 subs. I'm 58 now. That's crazy. I still can't believe that. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought. And well, thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Peace out.
Let's end this.
All right, what's next?